following is a paid program. Advice and opinions expressed on the program are solely that of Charleston House, not necessarily WBEV or Good Karma Brands. Welcome in, everybody, to Taking Care of Business. I'm your host, Ninja, sitting here today with two representatives from the Charleston House. And I'm going to let you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves to the radio world and the video world. Whichever one wants to start.
All right. I am Stephanie Schneider. I am the Director of Sales and Marketing for the Charleston House. And I'll pass it on to...
My name is Julia Schultz, and I'm with Charleston House, and I'm an Assistant Sales and Marketing to Stephanie.
Awesome. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Now, for people who aren't maybe familiar with Charleston House, let's start with a little bit of background. Where are you guys located? What does Charleston House do for the community?
Sure. We're located at 104 Fakes Court in Beaver Dam, and we're independent assisted living community. We do also have CBRF memory care community as well.
So we have that entire continuum of care from independent living. We've got very spacious one-bedroom units, and then the memory care CBRF that handles a little bit higher acuity of care.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, for anybody who might be interested in reaching out to you guys, I always like to get your information out there right away. I know you guys have a website. I believe is it charlestonhouseseniorliving.com?
Yep, you got that right.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So they can check out the website, of course. Can they stop by if they have questions?
Absolutely. We encourage everybody to come by. I don't think the pictures do it justice, so please do come, take a tour, follow us on Facebook. We do a lot of different events. But absolutely, just give Julia a call. She'll be happy to give you a tour.
Wonderful. And speaking of pictures, I will show a few of them up on the video screen for people here soon so they can kind of see a slideshow. Very beautiful facility you guys have there.
Yes, thank you.
I know when I think of assisted living, I think of, like where my grandfather was way back in the day, sort of been like early 2000s, like 2003, 2004. And the facilities have changed a lot since then. They feel a little more homey.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Last year, we actually won Dodge County's Best Retirement Community.
Really?
Yes. And
I didn't even know that was an award you could get.
Yes.
That's great. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. About how many residents do you guys have in your facility currently?
Our independent living, we do have the capacity to have 80 residents there. And then our memory care is 40 units. We do have openings. So like I said, I encourage anybody to come and take a look. There is a showroom so you can kind of see what the apartments are like.
That's awesome. And you said there's openings available. Is that in both the standard residency as well as the memory care?
Yes. Yep.
Now,
yep.
Forgive me for my ignorance, but what's the primary difference between the two levels of care?
Yeah, so the bigger building that we do have, the independent living, those you can come in just for the community aspect of it, completely independent. A lot of our residents still drive. We do outings to different, like out to Culver's and shopping.
The casino.
Yes, yeah, anything like that.
I imagine that's a favorite. Yeah.
Yes. So all the way from independent living, just to be around other people, that community aspect, all the way until even end of life, that higher level of care. So we would take care of somebody all the way through.
Do you guys know how long Charleston House has been a part of the Beaver Dam community?
I think the building went up in 2004.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it is now currently owned by Vista Senior Living for 3 years now. And Vista Senior Living is out of Illinois. They started as skilled nursing homes and branched into assisted living. Mm-hmm. But we definitely have been able to keep our care level at that higher standard considering where we started.
Awesome. Let's take a moment to get to know a little bit more about you guys. So, Stephanie, you said your role again with Charleston House is?
Yeah, Director of Sales and Marketing. We kind of both do that.
Okay.
I do a little bit more of the outreach in the community, so I'm a part of the chamber here in Beaver Dam. All of the sales and marketing, so we do have a lot of different events. Any sort of admissions, that's more on Julia. So she does all of everything. She'll walk you through what it takes to move into our community.
Now, are you guys from the Beaver Dam area, or are you guys kind of transplants here?
I am from Kleiman, if
Okay.
you know where
I know
that is.
exactly where Kleiman
Yes,
is. Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
yes, very
Mercer
small.
Teas, great burger.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I am from Kleiman. I've been a part of Dodge County my entire life, born and raised here. I do now live in Madison.
We won't hold that against you.
Yes, but it's not far, up the highway here. So, yeah, I
Very
love
nice.
Dodge County. So,
How about you, Julia?
I'm from Horicon area, but now currently in Beaver Dam. And then my role is to do more of in-house with tours and then the admission process to try to get people in to join our community and any assistance that they need after they join as well.
Now, is there a fairly large demand for this kind of independent but assisted living kind of format?
I think it just puts people's mind at ease knowing that there's always staff available 24 hours a day. Or sometimes things happen unexpectedly with dementia or Alzheimer's, and family is looking for placement for their loved ones. And our community is so wonderful, and we provide so much to our residents that typically they come and join, and they love where they're located with us at Charleston House.
Well, I guess that peace of mind is really nice too, because I think about like my parents, and being that they're both still around, I know that they're kind of keeping an eye out for each other. But if
Right.
something were to happen, one of them, knock on wood, wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
It would be one of those things where I'd feel like I'd have to go check on them every day just to make
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
And knowing that they have people to talk to and people in their age bracket they can hang out with, things
Exactly.
like that has got to be really nice.
Yes, and we actually do also do lots of activities with the residents all throughout the days. And then every Wednesday we take them out into the community because we have a transportation bus, and then we
very
can
nice.
provide doctor appointments rides as well.
and I'm
That's
glad
really
you
cool.
said that, like peace of mind. They have friends that they eat with every day. They're sitting there with those meals, with the activities. All of the staff are checking in on them frequently. And then I would say, too, like for your parents, we have those 3 meals a day plus like a hydration pass. So people really do thrive in our community, just with that sense of community. Just
Yeah.
Everybody's around.
And I will say I spent some time looking through the website and kind of digging into it. And my first thought was like, oh, these are going to be these really tiny, like dorm room, bedroom kind of spaces. And then I started looking and wait, there's floor plans, there's separate bedrooms, there's dining areas, sitting areas. I mean, in many cases, these are better than my first apartment.
Right.
And it is fairly comfortable living.
Yes, yeah.
That's kind of awesome. Now, and this is always a question I have, like, we send mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa. I say send. Mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa decide they want to stay at Charleston House. That's where they want to be. Are they allowed to bring, like, some of their furniture in their stuff, or do you guys have, like, a set?
Sure, so the apartments do come unfurnished. So you do bring your own furniture in, and you can decorate the apartment as you wish, so you can make it feel more homey.
That's
We
awesome.
do allow one pet per resident, so if you have a little dog or a cat that you wanted to bring, as long as you can take care of that animal.
That's awesome. Is there, like,
Yeah.
a limit on, like, if somebody's got, like, weird pets, like a snake or an iguana? Is that
They would just have to run it by us, and then we would have to ask for permission, but
awesome?
yeah.
Awesome. So we talked about the people that are on staff that are helping out there. What kind of qualifications do these people have? Are they just kind of glorified, I'm here to say hi, or do they have any additional qualifications that make them ideal staff working for you?
Sure, so they are CBRF certified, and
All of our staff are trained by our nurse, Melissa, and then they're delegated to do any sort of cares. And we do a lot of continuing education within our community. So monthly we bring in different providers. So all of the staff do continue to learn new things every month.
CBRF, what does that stand for?
Community-based residential facility. Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
So
yeah.
there is training. They are skilled individuals, which is
Yes.
kind of nice. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I got a kid who does this, but the average person checking out groceries probably doesn't know what to do in situations that might arise. Obviously.
Right.
So that's really awesome. And again, leans into that peace of mind that we talked about.
Yes, yeah.
I'm going to take a moment. For those who are watching on video, highly recommend you check it. I'm going to bring up a little slideshow of just some of the photos you guys have on the website. A beautiful looking facility. I'm seeing outdoor facilities, seating areas. and it looks like a standard apartment building for anybody who's just kind of going by. Inside spaces, I'm seeing, it's very inviting. I see a lot of community space available. It looks like a big rec room that people can check out. This is not at all what I expect when I think of any sort of, independent senior living or anything of that sort. Is this something that kind of sets Charleston House apart?
Absolutely. We're in a beautiful neighborhood there. There's a sidewalk that wraps around. The grounds are gorgeous. And like you said, that rec room, we just actually updated that. So we do have like a bar and pool table and
That's awesome.
a place where all of the residents like to gather and play cards on the Friday afternoon after happy hour. So a vibrant community where people do gather. Some of the residents do have their own like volunteer jobs that they do there, helping out in our library, helping out in activities.
Bible study, photography classes. Our residents,
cool.
if they have any ideas and they want to start making it part of our activities, we do take everything into consideration, let them run their own courses.
So thinking about all the classes and activities, like what other amenities and things that you guys have that sets Charleston House apart?
We do have live entertainment that comes all throughout the month as
Really?
well. They perform in the dining room. And then we have happy hour every Friday. We have church services that come in to our building. Residents are more than welcome to go to their own church, but we do provide those services. We have a movie theater room.
Really?
Yes.
That is cool.
And just to add on to the different amenities that we do offer, so all of our residents do have housekeeping once a week, laundry services, all of the meals are included with their rent. There's DirecTV that's included, Wi-Fi, quite a few different amenities. Did I miss anything?
Yeah. Transportation bus.
Yep.
That's awesome. So ultimately, then the next question people are going to come up with is, okay, with all these amenities, everything that's there, people are going to start hearing the dollar signs ring up. How much is this setting grandma, grandpa, or somebody back?
So it does differ by the different units that we do have and their level of care. Okay. So everybody would pay a basic service fee, and that includes all those amenities like we talked about, the housekeeping, laundry, DirecTV. And then what we would do is we would assess somebody. The assessments are free, so our nurse or one of our care coordinators would be happy to sit down with your loved one and discuss their level of care. What sort of help do they need? Do they need help in and out of the shower or with those different cares? And then there's a price associated with that. So I would recommend anybody just come out, talk to Julia, and then we can do a free assessment.
And speaking about the room and board, we do offer a 5% discount to our veterans as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Obviously, we just had Memorial Day
Yeah.
recently, and a lot of veterans out there, and many of them, especially from, I'm thinking like Korea, Vietnam, aging to that
Right.
point where this is definitely an option for them.
Yeah.
As far as level of care that's provided, is there a point where the level of care needed extends beyond what Charleston House can offer?
Yes, so if they're in our independent assisted level of care and they decline, we are able to transition them over into our CBRF memory care community. If we ever have a waiting list for our memory care community, we kind of put that to the side and prioritize our residents first.
Now, is the room types and stuff over in the memory care portion of the facility, is that different, or is it fairly similar, just with a different level of care?
So it is a little bit smaller. Otherwise, everything is the same. Just the bedroom isn't there. When people do have Alzheimer's or dementia, it kind of helps them guide around their bedroom a lot easier without extra rooms everywhere.
Gotcha. More like a studio apartment.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So then also our memory care CBRF building, the walls inside are only halfway point, and that kind of helps the residents find their way around better as well.
Awesome. A really well thought out and planned out facility.
Yes.
That is really great. Now, you guys obviously have been working there for a little bit now. How long have you been with Charleston House?
I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary with Vista Senior Living, the Charleston House.
I'm coming up about a year.
Yeah.
Okay. So a while, but not a super long time
Right.
considering how long it's been around. Have you guys developed any sort of rapport with the residents there? Do you guys interact with them in your role?
Oh, yes, of course. They're our first priority.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Talk to me a little bit about, because I'm always going to ask this question, when I hear food services provided, like, are they getting TV dinners, or like what's being provided?
I'm really glad you asked. We have a wonderful culinary department. A lot of our food is made in-house. Actually, all of our food is made in-house. A lot of it is homemade, delicious food. I think our entire dietary department does take a lot of pride in what they are serving.
Awesome.
And we do offer, if anybody wants to come out for a tour, you can do a meal too. You would just have to let us know ahead of time.
Right.
Also, if they didn't like something that's on the menu, we do have an alternative menu as well. So they don't have to eat what's the day of.
Right.
They can have a burger or a side salad, things like that.
That's nicer than at home. My wife tells me to eat what's made and I just have to deal with it. So that's really awesome. Now, let's say it's somebody like, I'll use my grandmother as a great example. She loved to bake. That was one of her favorite things to do all the time. So if a resident is like, hey, I'd really want to make something, cook something, do they have that ability there? Is there a facility for them to do that? Can they do that in their apartment, or, can they use the kitchen space?
A lot of times, Libby, our activity director, does host different baking and cooking groups.
Very nice.
So she'll help get the supplies and make sure that the resident is able to make any sort of recipe that they've always liked to do. So that's something I would encourage the resident or their family to connect with the activity department.
And it sounds like there's a lot of customability with, what the resident can do, what they like to do, and as long as it's not something that's just crazy out there, like they want to shoot up rockets inside the, the facility, that it might be a workable thing for them. That way, there's not a huge change in their style of living, right?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
I imagine that transition's got to be a huge thing.
Yeah, it's hard.
I know when you have, I think I'll once again use my grandmother as a great example. My grandmother very much was I'm staying in my house, I'm not going anywhere, I refuse. And making a transition like that would have been very, very difficult, as I imagine it is for a lot of people who are making a transition like that.
So we actually have a resident ambassador and resident council president. So when we have somebody new move in, she kind of takes the resident under her wing and shows them around the facility and introduces them to the residents in the community and kind of makes them feel more welcomed, because everybody does get nervous when they have to do the transition. But
that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is absolutely awesome. It really does sound like you guys have thought of everything over there. Let's talk a little bit about staffing. How are you guys at staffing? Are you guys hiring? Do you need people?
Staffing is pretty good, but everybody can always apply. We do have job positions open on Indeed and also Charleston House.
Okay. How about volunteering? Is that something you guys have?
Yeah, we do. We do accept volunteers. Again, with our Life Enrichment Activity Department, I would encourage anybody that might be interested in volunteering to reach out to our activity directors, either in our memory care or our independent assisted living. There's lots of different volunteer opportunities in our community.
I'm assuming contact information for that is available on the website?
Yes, yep.
Awesome. And again, that's charlestonhouseseniorliving.com.
You got it, yep.
Perfect. I want to take a moment as we're hitting the bottom of the hour to remind everybody again, this is a paid program. The advice and opinions expressed on the program are solely that of Charleston House, not necessarily WBEV or Good Karma Brands. You guys have an event coming up pretty quickly here. I'm actually, you brought a little bit of a graphic. I'm going to pop it up on my screen here as well. You guys have a car show coming up, and serve me if I'm wrong here, but this is not your first time doing a car show there, correct?
This is our first time.
It is your first time.
Yes.
This is our
I
first.
swear you guys have done this before. How? Okay. So let's give everybody the rundown, give everybody the details of what's going on and kind of how this event came about to be.
Sure. So we do host our WOW events every couple of months, open to the public and the residents. We have a large parking area, so we thought it would be a great idea to try to do a car show. We do have a lot of cars signed up. We did hire Fire on High band that's based out of Green Bay area. They will be performing from noon to 4. We also have the Veterans Hospital coming out, so if anybody has questions that they would like to ask, they can.
So with the Veterans Hospital, we're having a cookout, and the proceeds, half of the proceeds are going to go to the VA. So this will be
very
a good
nice.
opportunity. Please come out.
Yes, we'll have hamburgers and brats, chips, cookies, water, lemonade.
And again, this event's open to the public in general.
Yes.
Just not just people that might have relatives that are elderly or who might be thinking about,
Right.
utilizing your facility, but anybody in the community.
Yes,
everybody,
absolutely.
please come and join. And even if you're not into vehicles, you can still come and listen to the band or come grab a bite to eat. We will have an ice cream truck that's going to be coming as well.
Nice.
Yes, it's going to be a big party and a great event. The residents are really looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Fire on High, do you know what kind of music they do?
Like country rock music.
rock,
Yeah.
okay.
I think they're based out of Green Bay, right?
Yep,
Yep,
yep.
Green Bay.
And give everybody the time and the date for the event.
Yeah, this Saturday, May 31st, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Please come out anytime during that.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. Highly recommend people swing on by out there. I might have to make an appearance myself because I like classic cars. Big
Yes.
fan.
Cool.
Do you guys know like how many cars you're expecting, or is it just like, are you still accepting cars if people?
Sure. Yes. Anybody that would like to showcase their vehicle, you're more than welcome to come in. And then me and Stephanie will guide you through for a parking stall. We have lots of room available, and we have grass areas as well, so we can fit lots more vehicles.
That's awesome. And I imagine the residents love these kind of events.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
well, we're going to circle back to this, but I have to ask. So you guys say you have these WOW events every month. And this
Every
qualifies
couple
or every
months.
couple
Yeah.
months.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And this qualifies as one of those WOW events. Can you tell me like what are some other WOW events you guys have had there for the residents and for the community?
Sure. We had wine and paint.
Yeah. We did our bingo and brunch. That was a lot of fun. We had some big
Nice.
prizes for that.
Very nice. Big fan of bingo. So
Yes.
I like
Yes,
that.
yeah.
I like brunch too, obviously, but bingo, awesome. That's cool.
And then in fall, we had arts and crafts fair. So we had lots of vendors set up inside of Charleston House, and people could walk through and kind of shop around. And it was nice for the residents because we brought the stores to them.
Yeah.
That is really kind of
Yeah.
cool. And is this something that, or I should say, is this something? I feel like this is something that not a lot of community residence places like this do, where that outreach isn't necessarily there. But it sounds like it's kind of a cornerstone for what you guys do.
Absolutely. I would say Vista Senior Living. We really want to be a part of the community here of Beaver Dam. So we would encourage everybody in Beaver Dam to come, visit us, take a look around, support us. And we really want to be a part of the community outside too. So we'll be coming to different events. Yes. So the big WOW events, please follow us on Facebook. You'll see a lot more events upcoming. So everybody's always welcome to come out.
And is it just Charleston House on Facebook?
Yes.
Yep.
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 So definitely worth checking that out then as well. Now, you were saying you guys also kind of take the residents out into the community for events. Can residents kind of suggest events that they want to go to?
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
We
That's-
actually have resident council that happens every month, so the residents get together and talk about things that they like or things that we could change, and then we try to fix everything within the month period, so those concerns aren't coming back up. So we truly do listen to our residents and make sure their needs are met.
I guess, kind of blown away by the level of inclusivity that these residents get. I know
Yes.
sometimes, we get this image in our head of assisted living of any sort as being very, well, you have to be in your room from this time to this time. It's got to be quiet from this time to this time. You do the activities we give you, or you don't do activities at all. And very drawn down, cemented into place. And this sounds like there's a lot more free flow going on.
Yes, most
and it's a little
definitely.
more comfortable. Do you guys find that that's something that you find more enjoyable about working there, that it is more free form for them?
So it's ultimately their home. So we try to make it feel as homey as possible, and nobody wants to make the transition from a home that they lived in for so many
Right.
years. So when they come to our community, we try to meet all of their needs. And if they have any suggestions or something that they don't like, we do try to fix that and make them feel welcome and happy.
We like to look at it, we're working in their home.
Right.
They're not living in our workplace. So that's kind of our philosophy.
Now, I'm going to go back a little bit because you said you've been here for about 2 years. You've been here
Yep.
about a year. While you're both very young, neither of you look like you're fresh out of high school. I see that face you're making, but I feel like you're probably younger than me. Has this always been a career path for you guys to work in this kind of field and work in this type of scenario?
It has
And
been
if
for
so,
me.
why?
Yeah, so I've actually, even in high school, since you brought that up, I've always worked in assisted living. It's just been a passion of mine. My sister actually, she's a nurse now, but she kind of got me started in working in geriatrics. So that's what I've been doing for over a decade now. Crazy to think about, but yeah, different assisted living, skilled nursing, and really that's just where my passion is helping in geriatrics in any sort of way, specifically life enrichment. So helping with that admission process and then ensuring that everybody living there is enjoying their life as much as they can. So yeah, that's kind of been my career, always in assisted living, skilled nursing.
There you go. You say over a decade, and tell me it
Yes.
started in high school.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, I've been in the workforce for about 2.5 decades now. So a little bit of difference there. Like I said, young. How about yourself? Has this been a career path for you for a while?
It actually has not. I was a CNA med tech for over 10 years at a
Okay.
skilled nursing community, and I absolutely love the elderly population. So when this job presented itself, it was almost like a calling to sell and market such a wonderful community and still be able to work with the elderly population. I feel like it was kind of a blessing for me to end up with this job. And I would definitely not be selling or marketing something that I didn't strongly believe in and stand behind. So
Now, obviously, not taking away from any of the other facilities and places you guys have worked at before, but is there anything in particular that has drawn you to Charleston House that's made you say, like, yeah, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to work. That not just for a paycheck, but because you like what you do.
sure, I think Eden Vista Senior Care really truly cares about their campuses. So if there's anything that needs to be changed, they're very quick at addressing the concerns. So it's just meaningful to know that like corporate and higher ups are always behind us and making sure all of the needs are met. So it's a wonderful community to be part of.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Very person-centered, too. So the people that we do care for, we do truly care about their well-being. So
That is super awesome. I'm very excited. I almost feel like, even though I don't currently have anybody that I know of that needs to get into the situation, I'm like, I almost want to go take a tour just to
yes.
Yeah, you're
see
more
the
than
facility.
welcome.
Yes.
That's can other people do that too? Like, not just because I work in radio, but
Absolutely. Yes, I encourage looking, knowing what your options are well before you actually need that. Before something happens and then all of a sudden it's being forced upon you. I would encourage everybody to look around, see what's offered, see what your options are before it's all of a sudden right in front of you.
Now, I did want to ask, because oftentimes when we think of this assisted kind of independent living, we often think of seniors in general. Is there an age cutoff, or does it have more to do with their ability to live independently?
Sure. So typically it's 62 and older, but depending on the circumstances, we would just have to evaluate the situation and then potentially be able to admit at a younger age.
Okay. So it's good to know that there is some wiggle room there depending on situation. And again, showing a great amount of flexibility that I was not expecting to hear about. So that is really cool. I want to circle back a little bit and talk a little bit more about the facility itself. Multiple apartments, one bedroom as well as studio type apartments
Yep.
that are there. Talk about the individual in-apartment amenities. Like, I saw in some, like, there's a sitting area, kitchen area, maybe like a living room type space. Do they have, because meals are provided, I'm guessing there's not like a kitchenette or anything, right?
We do provide a full-size refrigerator and a microwave.
Okay.
And then all of our apartments have balconies or porches. And then we have a one-bedroom apartment that could fit a queen-size bed. We have large closet spaces, which is their favorite because then they don't have to downsize too much, but they still have some wiggle room to be able to bring their favorite things. Our bathrooms are wheelchair accessible. We have grab bars by the toilet and in the shower. We also have a shower bench in there, and then by the sink, we can get the wheelchairs underneath there as well.
And I'm assuming showers in every unit because tubs are kind of a pain.
Yes,
Right,
yes. So
yes,
it's a
yeah.
walk-in shower.
Yeah.
Awesome. That makes sense. So a lot of well planning gone into that as well. As far as moving between floors, I assume elevator in the facility for people that need it.
Yep. We have 2 elevators, one in the front and one in the back, and then everybody also gets their own mailbox as well.
Now, speaking as far as scheduling and stuff, I know we talked about like not having necessarily designated quiet times or whatever, but I'm assuming there's a point in time where you're like, okay, we don't want people in the common area.
No, they can
really?
they can utilize the facility at
really?
any time that they wish. Yeah.
So if you're a late night reader, want to take a stroll, get a
Right.
little walk in or something,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that is really cool. I honestly have known people that live in apartment buildings that don't have that kind of freedom. So that is really, really awesome. I now want to go ahead and dive a little bit more into your guys' event that's coming up because I know it's a big focus. Now, obviously, this is an awareness event for letting people know that you guys are there and you're part of the community. It's obviously as much for the community, if not more for the community as it is for your residents to kind of get that interaction going on there. You guys mentioned the grill out that's happening. Who's working the grill? Is it you guys? Are you guys flipping burgers? and
Our
doing
cook
whatever?
John is actually going to be grilling all the food.
Okay. So this is a great way for the community to know that the food that's there and that quality is also what's being
Right.
served at those 3 meals a day.
Yes.
That is really, really cool.
Julie and I will be at the welcome desk to greet everybody and then offer tours if needed. So this Saturday might be a good time to come check out some cool cars, eat something, have ice cream, and then even take a tour.
That is really awesome. And again, it's happening this Saturday, May 31st. Highly recommend people swing on out there. I guess if I would have read the post a little bit further, it does say your first car show on May
Yes.
31st. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm loving the fact that you guys are doing this. So, one, it's non-competitive event, so it's not like it's a who's got the best car and show or whatever. Just come out and look at cool cars.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, that's kind of a big thing. I'm assuming the residents are going to love it and be walking around. It's going to be great for the community to look into. Live music by Fire on High. Very, very excited about that. I see there's a more information number on there, 920-306-0081. Is that the main number for the Charleston House?
That'll be for me.
That is for you. Okay.
Yes.
So anybody who has questions about the car show or whatever, they can reach out to you if they want to get a car in, that sort of thing. I think I kind of asked this before. Do you guys know roughly how many cars you've already got kind of signed up and are expecting?
We have so far about 28 vehicles that signed up, but a lot of car gurus have said vehicles typically just show up.
Yeah, I think
so
once
we
they
have-
hear about it, they just,
Yeah. So we have lots of room, so please come on out. We have grass areas, like I mentioned before, and more parking stalls.
Quite a few motorcycles too. So any type of car, classic car, new car, motorcycle, just come on down.
A
and
Tesla
take a look.
truck, if anybody has one, especially for the residents, because maybe they've never seen one. That would be
Yeah, we
pretty fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you guys have, I'm going to get a little personal, do you guys have a favorite classic car?
I'm gonna go with the Chevy Impala, like
Impala?
the 65. Yeah.
Okay.
That
I'll
would
go
be-
with the Chevy Nova.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
I feel like we're all in the same vault because I love the classic 78 Corvette.
Oh,
So,
yes, yeah.
Good car as well. Now, you say Chevy Impala, and my first thought is, are you a Supernatural fan?
I am.
See?
Yes. How did you know?
Had to guess.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, Chevy Impala, preferably in black. Got it.
Yes,
Right,
yep.
Right. Have you heard what kind of cars might be showing up? Has anybody said, like, oh, I'm bringing this, and they're really excited to...
We do have the old Beaver Dam fire truck coming out.
Oh, that's
Yes, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah, quite a few different, like I said, old cars, new cars, quite a variety.
cool. That is great. Do you guys know what's on deck for your next WOW activity?
Follow our Facebook page to find out, please.
Yes.
We'll call that a teaser. So we have a little bit of time left in the show here. Before
Okay.
we wrap things up, I want to give you guys a chance to kind of pitch a little bit more about Charleston House, about the amenities that are available, about the services that are offered. Feel free to just run us through it so that anybody who's listening who maybe just now is tuning into the show can understand why it's important that you guys are here, your link to the community, and the kind of service that they can expect there.
So Stephanie and myself are with Charleston House in Beaver Dam. We're located at 104 Fakes Court. We are independent assisted living community as well as CBRF memory care community. Our tours are free. You can always call 920-306-0081 to schedule a tour, or you can also request more information on our website at charlestonhouseseniorliving.com. There's a little form there that you could fill out and submit to us.
We are a continuum of care, so independent assisted memory care, spacious apartments, a vibrant community. I encourage everybody to come take a look.
Now, I thought of another question that I wanted to ask. So you mentioned that some of the one-bedroom rooms, the bedrooms are large enough for a queen-size bed. When I hear queen-size bed, I think 2 people. So if Grandma and Grandpa are both still around, can they both stay?
Yes,
Is that possible?
We have multiple couples that reside in one apartment, and they fit comfortably in there. We do also have a couple deluxe apartments as well, which is 100 square feet bigger than our standard.
That is really cool. Favorite, if you had to pick an aspect of Charleston House, that's kind of your favorite aspect, your favorite amenity, or
that's hard.
step, something that sets you apart that really for you is like, this is the key thing. This is what I brag about.
I don't know. That's hard to choose. I don't know if I'd like somebody to create all 3 of my meals a day or do my laundry and housekeeping. So I would actually kind of go with one of those amenities, just being taken care of like that.
See, I love to cook, so I think the housekeeping thing would stand out to me. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would say the variety of activities and the friendship forming between residents.
There you go. And you don't have to name any names, but do you guys have a favorite resident?
They're all my favorite.
Oh, what a good answer. That is a great answer. I love it. I love it. What about favorite pet in the building? Do you guys ever get a chance to hang out with the pets?
Jasper.
What's Jasper?
He's a tiny little dog.
Okay. How about you?
I'm going to choose Rose's cat. She's so sweet.
I'm a cat guy, so I'm definitely into that. And these animals, obviously, they're apartment animals, but I'm assuming the residents can take them out for a walk, do all the normal stuff they can.
Yes, most definitely.
Yes, and the sidewalk that wraps around the building is all level and easy. So to take out the dogs for a walk, it's very comfortable and easy to do. The grounds are beautiful. It's well-mature landscaping. There's a gazebo out back that you saw on the slideshow there.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna
our
bring up the
backyard. Yeah.
slideshow again so people
Yeah,
can kind of
please
see.
do. Yeah.
So I see part
And then
Right there.
At nighttime, everything is lit up too. We have lights all throughout our campus.
And this supposed to be the entry drive up there.
Yes,
that we're
yep.
seeing for people who are now listening on the radio, wondering what we're talking about. Once again, we're watching the slideshow of the units. I see a living space. This again, communal area. Is that a piano?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. A grand piano in the dining room there.
Okay,
And
I
then
see
gas
fireplace.
fireplaces. Residents do sit around those in the cooler months.
Benches outside. I see a little flower bed.
Yep, the residents do manage the flower beds in the back there. So they do their gardening, flowers and vegetables.
I think I just saw the movie room there a second ago with the stadium type seating. That is really cool. Are there regular movie showings in there, or can people just like, hey, I really want to watch a movie and go in there? How
Yeah,
does
of
that work?
course.
Yeah, so Wednesday afternoons, they'll put on a different flick for everybody to watch together. They'll make some popcorn, go for the movies, but it is open anytime anyone wants to.
That's great.
Yeah. And then the common spaces can be reserved by families. So if any family member is wanting to host a birthday party or event for their loved one there, they can reserve a room. And families can come in, they can celebrate a birthday or any sort of Christmas party, holiday party.
I guess I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, obviously people are going to want to visit their family while they're there.
Yeah.
So having that access is really kind of nice. Is there a common movie that gets played a lot? Like, is there a favorite? I know
They watch all sorts of different
Yes.
movies, old classics,
Okay.
modern movies. We do stream different movies too, so it's a wide variety.
Okay. My wife would enjoy that. She's into a lot of the older
Yeah.
Disney and the black and white films and whatever. I think we just recently rewatched Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Guys and Dolls. Which
Yes.
definitely more her alley than mine, but to each their own. Outdoor activities. You were mentioning the flowers. They can go for walks. Are there other things they can do outdoors?
Yeah, I know they'll set up like bags and play different like cornhole bags out back. I don't know. You want to add anything to
We might be starting a movie in the memory care community at nighttime, getting a projector screen out there, and then providing refreshments, and then the residents can watch movie outside, like kind of
Yeah.
what it was called.
Drive-in movie
Yeah,
theater.
drive-in
We're
movie
doing our own.
theaters, yes.
Which I imagine, obviously there's a different level of care that has to come into place with the memory care side of things. But I'm assuming you guys still try and integrate as much of normal everyday living into
yes, most definitely.
what they do over there, even if there's a different level of. But are they do they ever get to use the movie space, or do they get to use the
Oh
common
yes,
area?
they have their own in the memory care, because we have two different buildings. We
Right.
have the independent assisted living community, which has all of those amenities, and then in our CBRF memory care community, it's very similar to our bigger building. Everything is just a little downsized, so they have their own movie theater in that building. And even if they do need more levels of care or they have dementia or Alzheimer's, we do treat all of our residents as they are independent and have their own dignity. So yes, we do offer very similar things over there as well.
And then our bigger events, we do integrate. So everybody will get together for a lot of these like picnics and parties. Everybody, it's one community.
And so if you have a resident who transitions from one facility to the next,
Yeah.
it's not a huge shock to them
No,
to go from one
no.
to the other.
And a lot
Yeah.
of their friends, like they'll still get together too. It's just a short walk over, and all still one community.
That is cool. Do you guys ever hop in on the movie nights or the other activities and hang out and have fun?
Some of the activities,
Yes.
the morning stretch is the best one.
Tell me about the morning stretch.
Libby, our activity director, and also in memory care, they do morning stretch and chair yoga.
Okay.
Some residents say it's better than physical therapy. So,
All right.
yes, they do a wonderful job.
I imagine that's got to be a sight to see them kind of all getting a little stretch, a little workout in.
Yeah, they love it. It's a huge turnaround.
That is phenomenal. I'm sure my wife would love if I did chair yoga. I'm, again, blown away by the facility itself. I didn't realize this was here right in the heart of Beaver Dam. And I imagine that's part of the reason why you guys do these outreaches, because there's a lot of people who maybe don't realize you're there.
Yes.
Exactly.
And don't start doing the research until they're already in desperate need of a place to go to. And sometimes when you Google things, you don't always find what you're looking for and don't
Right.
realize it's right here in
Yeah.
your
Right.
backyard.
Yeah, and we are kind of hidden away also on a private road. It's a dead end road, so that would be Fakes Court. So people can't just drive by and see us. They would have to physically drive down to the street, and then once they see the building, they're like, "Wow, this is amazing."
And that is great. I am, again, blown away by that. Super thankful that you guys chose to come on today
Yes,
and to
thank
share all
you.
this information with us. Before we let you go, I'm going to try and throw as much information to our listeners as we can. 104 Fakes Court is where they can find you guys here in Beaver Dam.
Yep.
If they call 920-306-0081, they can talk to you guys about the upcoming car show. They can ask about tours, get more information. They can also find you guys on Facebook, Charleston House on Facebook.
Yes.
And then your website, charlestonhouseseniorliving.com for more information. You can see the photos that we had on the video today, so you can go check that out there as well. You can also take the time to go in and look through and see, how to contact you guys. There's floor plans listed there, so you can see kind of how the floors lay out, the buildings lay out. There's so much information there on the website for people to check out. And it's a great way to start getting a little information rolling ahead of time. Otherwise, stopping in, also an option.
Right. Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
And we want to remind everybody again about the car show coming up The Old Beaver Dam Fire Truck, that alone is worth the price of admission, which is free, to come check it out. There is going to be food available on sale. They're going to have a cookout there with the support group from... Remind me again,
The
VA?
half of the proceeds are going to go to the Veterans Hospital.
There you go. And the food is being cooked by, you said it was Jeff?
John.
John.
Yep,
Oh,
John.
I knew it was a
You were so close.
so close. By John, who does the meals over there at the Charleston House, which is awesome. So go check those out. Again, half the proceeds going to support the Veterans Hospital. If you do have a fancy classic car out there, by all means, reach out or swing on by this Saturday, May 31st, from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. They'll find a spot for you to park and show off, whether it be 2 wheels, 4 wheels, 3 wheels. Maybe you got a really fancy motorized unicycle. I don't know. If you got that, just swing on by and show that off there. The residents will love it. Of course, live performance there by Fire on High. This sounds like it's going to be a great event. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I've got to make my way out there because I love classic cars. So this will be worth the trip for me as well. Any final words you guys want to say to our listeners out there before I send you on your way on this? It's still beautiful out, right? It was
Yes.
still nice? Okay.
Yeah, it's nice out.
Thank goodness.
A little overcast. It's nice out, though, today.
That's all right. It's not raining. I'll
Yes.
take that.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I just want to thank you very much for having us on the show here today. I'm really proud to represent Charleston House and encourage anybody to come this Saturday, May 31st, 10 to 4. Come on out, take a tour, see what we're all about, and follow us on Facebook.
Awesome. Julie, anything you want to add?
Yes, please check out Charleston House. You will definitely not be disappointed. And then hopefully see you Saturday.
Awesome. Sounds great. Well, I want to once again thank you guys for coming on. I got Stephanie Snyder.
Yep, Stephanie Schneider.
Schneider, okay. I was close. And
Close
Julia
Schultz.
My handwriting is so horrible. Even
That's
I can't
okay.
read it. With the Charleston House here in Beaver Dam. Thank you again for coming on, ladies. I appreciate it. This has been a paid program. The advice and opinions expressed on the program are solely that of Charleston House, not necessarily WBEV or Good Karma Brands.